Morning and welcome to the next video lecture of electromagnetic field theory. In this video lecture, we will discuss about the current and conductors, continuity of the current, electric field in the material medium, and conductor, dielectric and insulators and semiconductors. In previous lecture, we have already discussed about the electrical dipole, electrical energy, force, work done by force, electrical work done, electrical energy, and Maxwell equations. Now we are going to discuss the currents in the conductors and continuity in the conductors. The main content of this video lecture is to currents and conductor continuity of current, electric field in material medium. Prerequisite for this video lecture is required that the vector calculus, Coulomb's law, vector form of the Coulomb's law, electric field intensity, electric flux, electric flux density, Gauss law, Coulomb's law requisite for this video lecture. The course is focused on the foundation of the electromagnetic field theory. In this course, student will learn the electromagnetic or electrostatic field. The main objective of this video lecture is that on the completion of this lecture, the student will learn the current and conductors, how to behave the conductors, and how the current is flow in the conductor. They will also learn the continuity equation of the current, continuity of the current, electric field in the material mediums. Before discussing the electric field in the medium material, we have the definition or the behavior of the conductor, semiconductor, and insulators. So after watching this video, student will learn the current and conductors and continuity. We have the textbooks for electromagnetic field theory. Student will understand the concept of continuity, current, and electric field material medium. Students will be able to understand the concept of the current and conductors. Students also learn continuity of the current, electric field in the material medium. Now the current and conductor, convection and conduction currents. Current is measured in the amperes. Through a given area is the electric charge passing through the area per unit time. The current I equal to the dq over dt. Current density is the amount of current flowing through a surface ampere per meter square, or current through a unit normal area at that point. So current is defined as it is passing, the area is electrical charge is passing through a particular area per unit time, or current density is the amount of the current flowing through the surface. It is the ampere per meter square. It is current density. So here we have discussed two important parameters. One is current and second one is the current density. And current density is measured in the ampere per meter square. And current is measured in the charge or coulomb per second. Current density C is equal to the delta L over delta S, where I equal to the J dot ds. Integrate J dot ds. Depending on how the current is produced, there are different types of the current density. Convection current density and conduction current density. So current density is two types. One is convection and second one is conduction type current density. And this density is based on the production of current. Now, convection current density. The convection current density does not involve conductors and does not obey Ohm's law. Occurs when current flow through an insulating medium such as the liquid, gas, or vacuum. So delta I equal to the delta Q over delta T is equal to the psi V delta S delta Y over delta T. Where U is the velocity vector of the fluid. Conduction current density. The conduction current density, current in a conductor obeys Ohm's law. Consider a large number of the free electrons traveling in a metal with mass m, velocity u, and scattering. Time between the electron collisions. So, F equal to the minus Q E is equal to the mu upon 2. The carrier density is determined by the number of the electrons and with charge E. So carrier density is psi V equal to the NE. So N is the number of the electrons with the charge E. The conduction current density can then be calculated as J equal to the psi V U, which is equal to the NE square. U is already calculated. Previously slide we have the value of the U. U is the velocity. The velocity is given by the E tau upon m. So it will comes at this. E and equal to the sigma E, where sigma is the conductivity of the conductor. Current density is equal to the sigma E. Sigma is the conductivity of conductor. This relationship between the current concentration and electric field is known as Ohm's law. Electrical resistivity. Consider a conductor whose ends are maintained at the potential difference, that is the electric field within the conductor is non-zero and a field is passed through the material. Note that there is no static equilibrium in this system. The conductor is being fed energy by the application of electric field, and electrons moves within the material to set up the induction field. They scattered and are therefore damped. This damping is quantified as the resistance R of the material. For this example, assume a uniform cross-sectional area S and length L. The direction of the electric field E produced is the same as the direction of the flow of positive charges, or the same as the current I. So R equal to the V upon I, which is given as that E dot dl upon sigma E dot ds. E equal to the V upon L, and J is equal to the I upon S. So it is equal to sigma E and equal to the sigma V upon L. R is equal to the V upon I equal to the L upon sigma S, rho of L and L. Now we have the continuity equation. After discussing the current and conductor, the conventional type conductor and conduction type current, we have a continuity equation, remembering that all charge is conserved. The time rate of decrease of charge within a given volume must be equal to the net outward flow through the surface of the volume. Thus, the current out of a closed surface is I equal to the closed integral J dot ds. So equal to the minus dq enclosed by dt equal to v d psi v upon dt dv. Now applying the Stokes theorem, Stokes theorem says that the closed surface integral J dot ds equal to the integral v del dot j dv equal to minus v del psi v over del t dv, and del dot j equal to the del psi v over del t. The above equation is the continuity equation. Now, polarization in the dielectrics. The main difference between a conductor and a dielectric is the availability of the free electrons in the outermost atomic shells to conduct the current. Carriers in a dielectric are bound by finite forces, and such electric displacement occurs when external forces are applied. Such displacement are reduced when an applied electric field E creates the dipoles within the media that polarize it. Polarized media are evaluated by summing the original charge distribution and dipole moment induced. One may also define the polarization P of the material as the dipole moment per unit volume. So P equal to the limit del V tends to 0 and summation k equal to 1 to n qk dk over del v equal to the limit del v tends to 0 summation k equal to the 1 to n dk upon del v. Potential due to a dipole moment v equal to the p dot kr upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square is equal to the p upon 4 pi epsilon naught r minus r dash upon r minus r dash cube. D equal to the p dot ar dv upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Where the r square is equal to the r minus r dash mode of square x minus x dash square plus y minus y dash square plus z minus z dash square. Delta is 1 upon r is equal to the minus of x minus x dash ax plus y minus y dash ay plus z minus z dash az upon x minus x dash square plus y minus y dash square plus z minus z dash square to the power 3 by 2, which is equal to the r upon r cube minus and is represented by ar upon r square. Now the value of the v is the integral v volume integral 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught bracket del dash p upon r minus del dash p upon r bracket close dv dash v equal to the integral v p dot a dash n upon 4 pi epsilon naught r ds plus integral v minus del dash p upon 4 pi epsilon naught r dv. Here the del operator is with respect to x dash y dash z dash. So define the two charge densities, that is the psi d ps is equal to the p dot an and psi pv, that is the volume density, equal to minus del dot p. When polarizations occurs, an equivalent volume charge density psi pv is formed throughout the dielectric, while an equivalent surface charge density psi ts is formed over the surface. For non-polar dielectrics, when no added free charges, that is the q total is equal to the surface integral psi p as ds plus psi v pv dv equal to the 0. For cases in which the dielectric contains the free charge densities, psi v equal to, that is the psi t equal to the psi v plus psi pv equal to the del dot epsilon e. Hence, psi v equal to delta dot epsilon naught e minus psi pv is equal to the del dot psi naught e plus del dot p del dot epsilon naught e plus p equal to the del dot d. In the many substances, experimental evidence shows that polarization is the proportional to the electric field, provided that E is not too strong. These substances are said to have a linear isotropic dielectric constant. This proportionality constant is called the electric sustainability, that is Chi E. The convention is the extract the permittivity of free space from the electric susceptibility to make the units dimensionless. Thus, we have the P equal to the epsilon naught x psi e b equal to epsilon naught e plus p, which is equal to the epsilon naught 1 plus c psi e into e. D equal to the epsilon naught epsilon r e. D is equal to the epsilon e. So this is the thus the dielectric constant or the relative permittivity of the material epsilon r is the ratio of the permittivity to the free space. If the electric field is too strong, then it begins to strip electrons completely from the molecules, leading to the short-term conduction of electrons within the media. This is called the dielectric breakdown. The maximum strength of the electric field, that is a dielectric can tolerate priority to which breakdown occurs, is called the dielectric strength. In the linear dielectrics, the permittivity epsilon does not change with the applied field E. Homogeneous dielectric do not change their permittivity from point to point within the material. Isotropic dielectrics do not change their dielectric constant with respect to the direction within the material. Two types of the dielectrics exist in the nature, polar and the non-polar. Non-polar dielectrics do not possess the dipole's moments until a strong electric field is applied. Polar dielectrics such as the water possess permanent dipole moments that further align, if possible, in the presence of an external field. Next, we have a conductor, semiconductor, and the insulators. It is the convenient to associate these energy level or energy states are permissible in given atom, and an electron must therefore absorb emit discrete amount of the energy or quanta in the passing from one level to the another level. In a crystalline solid such as a metal or a diamond, atoms are packed closely together. Many more permissible energy levels are available because of the interaction forces between the adjacent atoms. It can be observed that energies which may be caused by electrons are grouped into the broad ranges or bands, each band consisting of the very numerous closely spaced discrete level. At a temperature of the absolute zero, the normal solid also has every level occupied, starting with the lowest and proceeding in order until all the electrons are located. The electrons with the highest least negative, that is energy level, the valence electrons are located in the valence band. If there are permissible higher energy level in the valence band, or if the valence band merge smoothly into a conduction band, then the additional kinetic energy may be given to the valence electrons by an external field, resulting in an electron flow. The solid is called a conductor. The filled valence band and unfilled conduction band are shown for the conduction. So, in the case of the conductors, the filled valence band and the empty conduction band. There is the no energy gap in the case of the conductors. There is a energy gap in the case of the insulator in between the filled valence band and the empty conduction band. Next, we have the semiconductor materials. In the semiconductor material, we have a small energy gap as compared to the insulator. So there is the small energy gap in between of the filled valence band and the empty conduction band. If, however, the electron with the greatest energy occupies the top level in the valence band and a gap exists between the valence band and the conduction band, then the electron cannot accept the additional energy in the small amounts, and the material is an insulator. The greatest energy occupied to the top level in the valence band, and a gap exists between the valence band and the conduction band. In this case, there is the energy gap between the greatest energy gap between the conduction band and the valence band. The electron cannot accept the additional energy in the small amounts, and the material is an insulator. So this type of the material is known as insulators. The band structure is the indicated in the above figure. Note that if a relatively large amount of the energy can be transferred to the electron, it may be sufficiently excited to jump the gap into the next band, where the conduction occurs easily. Here the insulator breaks down. An intermediate condition occurs when only a small forbidden region separates the two bands as indicated in the figure. Small amounts of the energy in the form of the heat or an electric field may raise the energy of the electrostatic, the top of the filled band, and provide the basis for conduction. These materials are insulators, which display many of the properties of the conductor and are called semiconductors. So semiconductor have the property of both type of the material, that is the insulator materials and the electric materials. So in this, we have a small energy gap between the conduction band and the valence band. Now, conductor free space boundary. When suddenly the charge distribution is unbalanced within a conducting material, there suddenly appear a number of the electrons in the interior of the conductor. The electrical field set up by these electrons are not countered by any positive charges, and the electrons begin to accelerate away from each other. This continues until the electrons reach to the surface of the conductor. Here, the outward progress of the electrons is stopped, for the material surrounding the conductor is an insulator, not possessing a conduction band. No charge will remain within the conductor. Hence, the final result within a conductor is zero charge density, and its surface charge density resides on the exterior surface. Also, for a static condition in which no current may flow, the electric field intensity within the conductor is zero. So, for electrostatics, no charge and no electric field may exist at any point within a conductor. Charge may appear on the surface as surface charge density. There will be a field external to the conductor, and this field can be decomposed into the two components, one tangential and one normal to the conductor surface. This is the free space conductor. We have a one normal and one tangential component of electric field vector and electric field density. The tangential component is seen to be zero. From this, you are able to understand that the tangential component to be zero. There will be a field external to the conductor, and this field can be decomposed into the two components, one tangential and one normal to the conductor surface. The tangential component is seen to be zero. If it were not zero, a tangential force would be applied to the elements of the surface, resulting in their motion and non-static conditions. Since static conditions are assumed, the tangential electric field intensity and electrical flux density are zero. So close integral of E dot dl equal to the zero. These are the relationship from the previous discussion, and E total equal to and delta W equal to zero. Let E total equal to zero. So the product of the E total into delta W equal to zero. Close integral of the D dot ds equal to the Q. Normal component of the D delta S equal to the rho S delta S. Normal component of the D equal to the rho S. This is equal to the dt equal to Et equal to 0. In the summary, the static electric field inside a conductor is 0. The static electric field intensity at the surface of a conductor is everywhere normal to the surface of the conductor. The conductor surface is an equipotential surface. Now, electric field in the material medium. Uh, we have discussed the conductor, insulator, semiconductor materials. Now we have to discuss the what is the electrical field in the material medium. Consider the charge distributions only in the free space and found its effect in the terms of electric field intensity, electric flux density, electrostatic potential. Now we will consider effect of charge distributions in the material medium. In general, based on the electric properties, materials can be classified into three categories: conductors, semiconductors, and insulators. Electric. In the conductor, we have already discussed three type of the materials: conductor, semiconductor, and insulator. We have discussed all three. Insulator is also known as the dielectric. So we have discussed the basic mechanism of conductor, semiconductor, dielectric materials. In the conductors, electrons in the outermost shells of atom are very loosely held and they migrate easily from one atom to the other. Most metals belong to this group. The electrons in the atoms of the insulators or dielectrics remain confined to their orbits, and under the normal circumstances, they are not liberated under the influence of an externally applied field. The electrical properties of semiconductors fall between those of conductors and insulators, since semiconductors have very few numbers of free charges. The parameter conductivity is used to characterize the macroscopic electrical properties of a material medium. Now, in the next section, we have some multiple choice question on the basis of the conductor, semiconductor, insulator, dielectric materials, and electric field in the materials, and current continuity in the uh, conductors, and conductor, current, etc. First multiple choice questions. Force in a conductor is dash to product of the charges: A directly proportional, B inversely proportional, C not related, D cannot be determined. The force in a current carrying conductor is directly proportional to the product of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Second multiple choice questions. Force in a conductor is to the square of the distance between the charges. A directly proportional, B inversely proportional, C not related, D cannot be determined. The force in a current carrying conductor is directly proportional to the product of the two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Calculate the force between the two charges having the magnitude 3 nanocoulombs and 2 nanocoulombs separated by the distance of the 2 micrometers. A 13.5 Newton, B 13.5 kilonewton, 1.35 Newton, D 1.35 kilonewton. From the expressions, the F equal to the K Q1 Q2 upon R square, the value of the K being 9 into 10 to the power 9, we get force 13.5 kilo Newton. The ratio of magnetic force to the electric force on a charged particles getting undeflected in a field is A 1, B 0, C 2, D 4. When a charged particle is undeflected in a field, the magnitude of the magnetic force and electric force acting on the particle is the same, hence the ratio is 1. If the flow of the electric current is the parallel to the magnetic field, the force will be A 0, B infinity, C maximum, D half the original value. Explanation: the force is a cross product. A cross product involves the sine of the angle between them. If the two quantities are parallel to each other, the angle between them is 0. Sine 0 is 0, hence force is 0. Multiple choice question number 6. The weakest force in the nature is A, electric force, B, gravitational force, C, weak force, D, magnetic force. Gravitational force is the weakest force in the nature as it does not bind anything strongly with its help. The next question, the relation between the direction of the current and the direction of the force is A, same direction, B, opposite direction, C, perpendicular, D, unrelated. When a conductor carries a certain value of the current, the force developed in the conductor, the current in the conductor, and the magnetic field in the conductor are mutually perpendicular to each other. By increasing the temperature, the resistance of a conductor A increases, B decreases, C remains constant, D initially increases then decreases. 9. The right hand rule for determining the direction of the induced EMF was introduced by A. Faraday law, Lenz law, Fleming, and Maxwell equations. Last and 10th question. Inside a hollow conducting sphere, A electric field is 0. B electric field is a non-zero constant. C electric field changes with magnitude of the charge given to the conductor. D electric field changes with distance from the center of the sphere. So the conclusion of today's lecture that after watching this video, student will understand the concept of the current, current density. They will also learn the conductors and the conventional and conduction type current in the conductors. They will also learn about the continuity of currents in the conductor. A part of this, student will understand the concept of the conductors, insulators, that is known as dielectrics, and semiconductor type of materials. They will understand the energy gap relationship between the three type of the materials, such like conductor, insulators, and semiconductor. The student will also understand the electric field in the conducting materials or different materials. So in the coming lecture, next lecture, we will find the electric field in the conductor, insulators, that is known as dielectric, and semiconductor materials. So after watching this video, student uh, outcomes of the this video is that student will learn the continuity, conductor, insulator, dielectric materials, semiconductor materials. They will learn the current and conductor and electric field in materials. Thank you.